We've all seen the ads: miracle memory pills, brain-boosting smoothies, crossword puzzles that promise to ward off dementia. In a world desperate to stay sharp into old age, the market for cognitive enhancers has exploded. But there's one intervention, backed by decades of data, that doesn't come in a capsule, isn't sold on late-night TV, and doesn't cost $49.99 a bottle. It's clean air. And as boring as that sounds, it may be the single most effective and most neglected brain supplement for the aging population. The idea is almost too simple for our health-obsessed culture to accept. If you want to protect your brain as you age, start with the air you're breathing. The science is both robust and urgent. Dozens of epidemiological studies now link long-term exposure to air pollution, particularly fine particulate matter, PM 2.5, nitrogen dioxide and O2, and ozone, with faster cognitive decline, higher rates of dementia, and reduced brain volume in older adults. The effect is so consistent that researchers now consider polluted air a modifiable risk factor for Alzheimer's disease and other forms of dementia, right alongside poor diet, sedentary behavior, and cardiovascular disease. And unlike your DNA or your family history, air quality is something we can change, not just personally, but at the level of city planning and public policy. What happens when we do? The results are more impressive than anything you'll get from ginkgo biloba. A 2022 study from University of Michigan found that seniors living in areas where air pollution decreased over a 10-year span had slower rates of cognitive aging, even if they'd lived in polluted environments previously. Another long-term study in Los Angeles showed that improvements in PM 2.5 levels were directly correlated with better performance on memory and language tasks in older adults. That's right, cleaning the air actually helped brains function better, not just preserve them from further decline. That's a public health victory hiding in plain sight. Unfortunately, this information hasn't made it into mainstream health conversations. We still tell people to do puzzles and eat more leafy greens to keep their brains young. But we rarely say, you need to breathe cleaner air or you'll lose your memory. It's less marketable, less sexy, but it might be the only brain health strategy that works at scale, especially for vulnerable populations. Elderly people are particularly at risk because their bodies are already less efficient at filtering toxins and their brains are more susceptible to inflammation. The blood-brain barrier, our brain's defense against chemical invaders, becomes more permeable with age. That makes it easier for airborne pollutants to sneak in, trigger neuroinflammation, disrupt neurotransmitters, and speed up the neurodegenerative process. And unlike diet or exercise, you can't opt out of breathing. You can take a break from sugar or skip a walk, but if your city is choked with smog or your apartment backs up to a highway, your brain is exposed, every second, every day. It's passive exposure with active consequences. Clean air doesn't just slow dementia. It also improves executive function, working memory, reaction time, and emotional stability, the very faculties that allow older adults to stay independent, make informed decisions, and maintain a sense of identity. That's what's at stake here. Not just a few extra years of life, but a few extra years of meaningful life, where you still know who you are. The economic argument is just as strong. Alzheimer's and dementia are now among the most expensive medical conditions in the world, with a global cost projected to reach $2.8 trillion by 2030. Delaying the onset by just 5 years could slash that burden dramatically. And yet, while billions are being poured into drug trials, we're still letting seniors inhale brain-damaging toxins through open windows in urban centers from New York to New Delhi. It's a cruel irony. The same people we tell to take fish oil and do Sudoku are breathing in the very pollutants that make those efforts less effective. The solution isn't rocket science. Stricter air quality regulations, greener public transit, urban reforestation, air filtration in senior housing and long-term care facilities, real-time air quality monitoring near nursing homes and hospitals. These aren't luxury upgrades, they're cognitive insurance policies. And yet, we're still distracted by snake oil and self-help schemes while the most powerful brain protection strategy floats invisibly all around us, often poisoned, often ignored. So if we're serious about protecting aging brains, let's stop treating air pollution as just an environmental problem. It's a neurological threat, and clean air isn't just pleasant, it's therapeutic. Forget nootropics and brain-boosting hacks. The most underrated cognitive enhancer may already be in your lungs. Or, at least it should be.